If you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, make sure you use our affiliate link right here in the description of our video to help support the channel. It's the best way to do it and it's free.
Looking for PTGO codes? Potown Store has all the latest sets and promos instantly delivered to your email. You can use tablemon code when checking out for 5% off. Card Market is Europe's largest online marketplace for Pokemon cards. Whether you're looking for sealed product or singles, vintage or the latest sets, just follow the link in the description to find what you need. Want to show off your love for tablemon? Check out my 2021 merch. These new hoodies and shirts are available on Amazon. Click on the link in the description to get yours. This video is sponsored by the Pokemon TCG deck building website PokemonCard.io.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another video here. I'm sure the thumbnail caused you to think, wait, what? Flips are back? Thankfully, well, I guess flips are back with Crushing Hammer in Whimsicott being a thing now. But this is Estrada's top 4 rather, deck from Indianapolis. This is the deck that I lost to in top 8, and Pokemon Catcher. You know, Pokemon Catcher is one of the reasons that he was able to quite easily beat me in game 1, because he was able to utilize Pokemon Catcher in order to bring up my Arceus when he went second, and I had my Arceus safely on the bench. He brought it up, was still able to play Alessa Sparkle and get the knockout on my Arceus. So even though it's a flip, like, you're not relying on Pokemon Catcher to like, you play 3, you're not relying on all 3 coin flips to be heads to be able to win the game. You still have your 2 ghosts in Boss's Orders, but the Pokemon Catcher gives you the flexibility to be able to have a ghosting effect and combine that with either Alessa Sparkle or even Marnie in some cases. So I do like the options that Pokemon Catcher opens, and I also like the sacrifices that Andrew made in a way in order to fit this, which are like less Rotom phones, 3 stadiums instead of 4, which I don't think is a big deal, and the choice belt, yeah, and it's like the third MEW VMAX, which that's the one I'm the least comfortable with. I personally would rather have the third MEW VMAX than the single Rotom phone in this situation. But this is Andrew's list and we're gonna stick with it. Now, for some people who might not know what MEW VMAX does, Cross Fusion Strike allows you to copy bench Fusion Strike Pokemon's attacks, such as Genesect for 210 damage or Meloida, where the Melodious Echo attack doing 70 damage for each Fusion Strike energy attached to all of your Pokemon, which are these ones. These also prevent all effects of your opponent's Pokemon abilities, so you can't be affected by damage counters or things like that. And you also have Alessa Sparkle to accelerate those energies onto 2 Fusion Strike Pokemon and be able to deal a lot of damage. You also have Oricorio's ability to copy or attack to copy glistening droplets, which can be situationally useful, but mostly Lesson and Seal is there to reduce the damage that you take and to improve some matchups such as Malamar. I also just realized that the Oricorio is the only non-reverse holo card in the deck, so I'm going to make that quick change, aesthetic change. But yeah, outside of that, the deck's pretty straightforward. You use Battle VIP Pass on turn 1 to try to set up, then you have Quick Pulse and Ultra Roll to discard the remaining VIP passes and to continue to set up, and to continue to thin your hand in order to utilize Fusion Strike system, which allows you to draw cards until you have as many cards in your hand as you have Fusion Strike Pokemon in play. So you discard cards that you don't need, and then that opens up space in your hand to draw a lot of cards. This deck's biggest weakness is Path to a Peak or Dark Pokemon. Dark Pokemon, there's not much you can do about them other than play around them with Meloida and try to target them down before they attack you. But you do have 3 stadiums, plus the Marnie, plus the Rotom phone in order to try and combat Path to a Peak. Plus Chromatic, I guess. Coin flip to get any card you want, so a 50% chance to counter Path to a Peak anytime you have one of these, and another item card in your hand. Let's jump into some games, shall we? Alrighty, so we do win the gun flip. We definitely want to go first. Always nice to go first with Mew. You get to draw a bunch of cards, you get to do a lot of things most of the time, as long as your hand permits it, and you are very threatening in the second turn of the game, so not bad. Alright, so will start for my opponent. We don't know what we're up against, but it's very likely that next turn we're gonna want to use Boss's Orders in order to target something down on the bench, which means I'm feeling pretty safe discarding the Alessa Sparkle right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and Ultra Ball away the Elusive Sparkle on the Escape Rope. And we're gonna grab Genesect number 1. We also checked to see the 2 MEW VMAXs, which are there, which is fantastic news. Did price a Elusive Sparkle and a Boss's Orders, so that is something important to note for the future, especially the Elusive Sparkle, which makes the reliance on the Fusion Strike energies and the Melodious Echo attack less good, I guess. But we get a clean Fusion Strike system for 4 to start us off, and we'll see what else we get and what else we can do. We get another Elusive Sparkle, we get another Mew, we do get our Choice Belt, so we're in a pretty good spot, I would say. We get another Fusion Strike system for 3 cards, and alright, we have a sort of counter to Path to a Peak. I could Quick Ball now for the Genesect, which I will definitely be doing. This is like the ideal bench without knowing what you're up against. I could be up against Malamar, that could actually be bad, but with no information, I feel like this is correct. Though there definitely was merit to keeping the keeping the bench space open for a possible Oricorio usage. But for now, we're gonna do this. We'll find out what we're up against. We have Path to a Peak counters. Marnie Path on turn 1 is not super likely, so we'd be okay if that. Well, we wouldn't be okay, rather. We'd actually not be okay if that happened, but there's nothing we can do to prevent it, so here we are. Attaches a fighting energy, so that immediately reveals to me, or I can make some assumptions, that it is Rapid Strike Urshifu, and very likely with the Dark package, right? We can fully expect Moltres here. Alright, so now I'm not gonna focus on Boss's Orders. Eliminating the active Sobble is definitely the way to go. I also don't want to evolve this Mew so that I have access to Psychic Leap. Especially Psychic Leaping when I go down to 3 prices would be pretty fantastic, I would say. You know what? I want to spread the energies this way, because I do have this Psychic to attach. I don't really feel threatened right now. I don't want to use Meloetta, because using Meloetta actually opens up some place for my opponent where they could take an extra turn with Medicham if that's what they're playing. So we're gonna have to be very, very careful. But for now, I think we're okay just using Psychic Leap. The one card that is going to be really key for me right here is going to be, wow, 3 Crown Medics, is the Marnie. When I go into a 3 price turn, if I have a MEW VMAX active, it's going to be really crucial to take a KO plus Marnie to stop my opponent from utilizing Moltres to return KO. And if that doesn't happen, then we are going to be in a very fine spot. And this also gives sort of indication that my hand is dead, which obviously it isn't, but it does give that sort of indication. Which could give my opponent a false sense of security as well. Eliminating a Sobble, never a bad thing. We also want to target down more in case my opponent does go for a Snorlax. We don't mind the Snorlax too much, especially because it's not easy to retreat. But the less Sobbles they have, the less access to resources they have off of Drizzle and things like that. Right. There's the Drizzle. For a Quick Ball. I wonder what my opponent is up to. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Snorlax here. Oh, Moltres, okay. So we definitely want to, in an ideal world, we go after the Moltres this turn, or my opponent can just promote it. I'm guessing that's going to be right hand. So my opponent will get a return KO, right? Which is fine-ish. Yeah, it's fine-ish. Well, it's not ideal, but... Right. I need... I don't need a lot of stuff. I already have the knockout. But like I said, the Marnie is what I would love to get right here. Oh! Well, thank you, PTTGO. That is very kind of you. Okay, so now what I would love to get is an energy without playing training court. So I want to try one chromatic. Okay, that's pretty lucky, pretty good. So what if I attack with Meloetta this turn instead? If I attack with Meloetta, and then the turn after I attack with Mew to knock out one of these, I think that might be my line of play. So I'm going to take the KO with Meloetta, and if Meloetta survives, I'm in a very, very good spot. If it doesn't, then that's okay too. I'm just gonna Marty. Yeah. Alright. Power tablet. I can definitely use up one. I don't need it to get a KO. I'm just doing this to thin my hand a little bit. I'll go ahead and burn the switch as well, and then I'm going to start off with one Fusion Strike system for 2. Notice how I chose not to use the Rotom Phone. Okay, there's a Mew that I really wanted access to. I'll still keep the Rotom Phone in my hand for now. And now I have the follow-up energy, I have a potential cost effect, and I still have the Rotom Phone. So for now, I'm just going to attack. No need to overdo it with the resources. I've mentioned this plenty of times when I see other players playing Mew. It feels like they're trying to draw as many cards with Genesect rather than trying to take 6 prizes. You know, there's a big difference. Alright, are we gonna see a second right hand into powering up the Inteleon? That would not be ideal, for sure. So if my opponent whiffs knockouts, I'm in a really good spot. If my opponent gets the knockout, I'm in a really bad spot. They have a very a big deck, 38 cards at the moment, which means their chances of getting everything they need in order to get a respawn KO onto a Mew were not great. So maybe I should have attacked with MEW VMAX instead, I don't know. Alright, so there's the instance. So I guess the question is, do they play Hoopa? Okay, they're chaining Drizzles for some reason. Not sure what the purpose of that is, but I mean, that's what they're doing. Okay, so we see a Clara. Getting back the Moltres means I also can't Echoing Horn the Moltres. So that's not ideal. But if Meloetta survives, which it's looking like it will survive, then all I need to do is, sorry, that was my alarm. Just in case I overslept today. If my opponent hadn't played the Clara on the 2-pricer, all I would have needed to do was Echoing Horn, KO that. Now that's not an option. It's no longer an option. But yeah, I think I'm pretty safe here. Yep. I definitely feel pretty safe right about now. So we're gonna go power up this Mew. we know my opponent has a Drizzle in hand, so I'm gonna try and KO a Sobble, but that's not possible. I mean, I could tempt my opponent by evolving, but I don't see what's the point of that. Like, what I could do is tempt my opponent into playing the Moltres, right? But yeah, I think I'm okay. Alright, Melodious Echo. So the plan is, we take a prize right now, and then next turn we also take another prize. Hopefully with either boss KO and a Sobble by attacking with this Mew. And then we leave 2 Mews. My opponent will be at 3 prizes, but no MEW VMAX in play, therefore they can't boss for KO. I'll be at 1 prize card, and then I just evolve MEW VMAX and knock out whatever for my last prize card. So that's the plan. And I have all the cards that I need in my hand in order to pull it off. And if my opponent plays Marnie, usually that deck doesn't play Path to a Peak, so we're going to be completely fine here, I think. Right? Of course, this is subjective to, or this is subject to change, but I think we're good. Yeah, so I think this is also another thing. Ooh, it was Arceus Dark all this time. I think this is another important thing that you could take from this video, from this game especially, which is hard to like give a lot of good instructions with different decks or situations or the games that I play on TCG, because like there's so much variance and whatnot, right? But notice how in my MEW VMAX deck I never evolved my MEW VMAX, right? Until the very last turn. And that's because since the very beginning, since the very first turn, I've been talking about how I'm going to win the game. Yeah. Which I feel like not a lot of players do. They're more focused on how do I draw more cards, right? My MEW VMAX deck, therefore I should evolve into MEW VMAX immediately. Yeah? If I had a MEW VMAX on the bench, my opponent could have gone boss KO. Yeah, so pretty important things to note, I would say. And I'm gonna have 2 Mews. No matter which one goes down, I'll have the MEW VMAX. All I will need is 1 prize card remaining, and I have the escape rope to just guarantee I knock out anything on the bench next turn. So there's, unless I get Marnied, like I said, there's no way I lose this game. And even if I do get Marnied, I'm feeling pretty safe that I'm gonna win this game anyways. So let's do this. Well, they also discard the Moltres, so I can actually just win with the Echoing Horn. I just realized they researched away the Moltres, so I can just win with that. So it's also another avenue to win the game, right? But if that wasn't there, I could have done what I was talking about. Yeah, I could have just attacked, gone boss on the Sobble, KO'd it, and then next turn they would have knocked out a 2-prizer, any 2-prizer, that's fine. I would have had 1 prize left, I would have had 1 prize left, and then I just attacked, and I would have won. So yeah, cool learning game, I feel, against what looks to be a bad matchup. Well, there we go. Yeah, not too bad. Alright, on to next game. Alright, so I won the coin flip yet again, which is pretty awesome. And I have double raw battle VIP pass in hand, which is incredibly busted. incredibly busted. Alright, so we're up against Arceus. My opponent's not gonna be happy seeing this double battle VIP pass. I wouldn't be. And I think game 1 against Andrew Estrada in Top Cut, that's exactly what he did. Double raw battle VIP pass. Because I think I also mulliganed like twice, I think. Alright. So I'm gonna commit this energy. I think I'm just gonna fully commit to the Meloetta, right? I don't think there's any reason not to use that to hunt down something next turn, or it gives me the switching option as well. Now, that was a very weird Genesect draw, but it is what it is. Like, I have a pretty good hand, so we're just gonna pass. And we'll see. Yeah, we shall see what happens here. But it seems like initially we're gonna be able to trade 2 for 1. Arceus decks very rarely play switching cards. At most they play like 1 escape rope or 1 air balloon, and my opponent will need to have that in order to be able to knock me, or to prevent me from taking these 2 prizes to start off the game. And I have everything I need to take the 2 prizes to do so. And even a path to a peak counter. Alright, we see Eldegoss, we see Mew, we see Stadium. That could mean, like the Eldegoss and this, wow, they do play that switching card. The Eldegoss and that could actually mean no path to a peak, which is always good. And so now, getting this KO on the Arceus, they did have the switching card. So if we can find an escape rope, that would be fantastic. The Grass Energy could be an indication that they're playing Beedrill with Arceus, which is obviously not bad at all. And my opponent just immediately concedes. Okay, that works too. So let's play another game. Alright, so I actually lost a coin flip just now before I hit record, but my opponent let me go first, which could be an indication that they're playing Urshifu or Malamar. Oof, any basic with this hand would have been fantastic. Okay, so now we find out they're playing Tord's version of Urshifu. So we need to be very careful with the Medicham play, especially, I feel. Alright. Okay, pretty solid hand, I would say. We got a nice hello. So hello, switch Arcturus. They're happy. Alright, so we start off with a Hoopa. So now that I have some information of what I'm up against, I definitely know I can afford to get rid of this choice build for the Chromatic. Let's see if we can find a battle VIP path. We can. Pretty good to start off, not gonna lie. Alright, and so let's get double Genesect. So if I play down Oricorio, I would be setting myself up for a situation where my opponent could attack the Meloetta with Hoopa and then get a bonus turn. So I'm actually gonna actively play against that, and I'm not gonna use Oricorio. And so the theme against my opponent's deck will definitely be sort of the same as we saw in that first game. It's gonna be try and time the Marnie when I go down to 3 prizes, and honestly avoid evolving as much as possible. Which does mean attaching to the Meloetta right here. And I have ghosting effects. I'll just Chromatic for 1. I don't expect my opponent to be playing Path to a Peak, so I'm safe to play that down. And okay, I'm gonna leave the Mew active. Kind of want to Chromatic away the catcher, or this, maybe the switch actually. I mean, I don't need to do it right now, so maybe I'll just wait. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens next turn. Knocking out Hoopa is obviously nice. My opponent starts with Peonia. Interesting. So Peonia is sort of like draw 3, right? You don't get cards from your deck, but you do get access to 3 new cards. But there's no guarantee, right? Especially when you haven't done a deck search. You don't know what to expect or not to expect. All right. Alrighty, so they put their prizes back, which is good. There's a quick ball. Dark energies in the discard ball mean easier access to Moltres as well, so I have to keep that in mind. There's a Sobble. Right, see an Ultra Ball. So do they have a switching card? So the training court now has given my opponents easier access to discards, which I mean, I don't think it was wrong playing it. Alright, and we see a pass right here. So what I would definitely love to do is knock out that Sobble, right? Well, do I? What if I just knock out the Koopa? My opponent's plan next turn is keep going, right? And maybe there's merit to knocking out the Koopa because then that forces a Clara in order to get it back. So actually I kind of like knocking out the Koopa here. I don't want to just stick with this hand though. So that's a tail swip. I do want to keep drawing. Okay, I guess we're not drawing a lot. Are these cards that I want to play? I'm debating on the Sobble KO. But I feel like there's merit to knocking out the Koopa right here. Because then that eliminates it as a potential threat for Clara place. I was always taking a knockout, that was guaranteed, but if now they have to go keep calling, that's alright. Alright. Little ball. Being up 2 prices before your opponent has even set up their board is definitely really good. Cynthia's Ambition, alright. So, gonna get a full hand. Gets back to fighting. Alright, I do want to get another Mew down soon-ish. As in this upcoming turn. Let me just see the keep calling. Alright. We haven't been able to have like a super explosive turn. That one Sobble being prized means knocking out the Sobble last turn would have actually been very, very good and very impactful, but that's alright. Yeah, there's no reason to be alarmed or anything. Okay, I'm gonna play down the switch. I do want to start thinning my hand a little bit. So I'll play the Rotom Phone now. Excuse me. There's the Quick Ball finally, which I can discard the Psychic as well, depending on what else I draw. Okay, so I'm getting all my things. What I'm trying to get to is the Marnie. And I still have 2 Grammatics to potentially get it, or I could just draw it for sure. Fusion Strike System. Get another Psychic, which is not bad, obviously. I can go LSS Sparkle. Sure. Actually, let's only do this Mew. I mean, I only had one, which I guess I should have known. I'm gonna play the Rose Tower to take away the option for the stadium for my opponent, draw a couple extra cards. And okay, I do get an escape rope, not very useful right now. I can burn the Fog Crystal next turn, but for now, I'm gonna go Melodious Echo. So I feel like my opponent might have to play into something like Scoop of Nets into the Hoopa with a Clara. That means they're down 1 Clara. For the Moltres play, the issue is I haven't seen my Ultra Balls, right? Or a lot of them, or Quick Balls. So now there's a Koopa. Now that I'm going back to the 3 price, now I'm going down to the 3 price turn. This is not ideal, but definitely the Koopa is not a threat right now. Like, rather, the Hoopa is a threat. We don't care too much about the Hoopa staying alive, so my turn will be focused on, at the very least, trying to KO a Sobble with just a Psychic Leap. So in an ideal world, I get back-to-back Psychic Leap KOs. They're at 6 prices, right? So they go down to 5 now, and I take a knockup with Mew on a Sobble, and I go down to 3. Then somehow they knock out my Mew, they go down to 3. I knock out whatever they have with another Mew, and then I use the last MEW VMAX to take a KO and hope they can't knock me out. Something like that. I don't know. No, actually, I don't feel like I'm in such a good spot. Alright, there's the Hoopa finally. They do have Scoop Up Net, they have the extra Sobble back down. There's the quick ball on the Gossifleur. The Gossifleur, okay, so this is more like Pedro's deck. The Gossifleur and the Eldegoss will allow my opponent access to a lot of basic energy each turn. So that might actually be the Pokemon I go after here. The Gossifleur, because they do have triple Sobble now. So I think that's going to be the focus. What did they grab? Level Ball, okay. Right, there's the Assault Gate. Like I said, I didn't want to give them a free turn with the Medicham, so that's why I went with an Aloe attack right there. Okay, that's very lucky. That's the second time now that I have drawn the Marnie exactly on the turn I needed it. Alright, so yeah, let's go after the Gossifleur for now. And then I'm kind of feeling the third Mew here for access to stuff. I have the Training Court still left, so I can get back energies if I need them. And I'm gonna go ahead and Marnie. So if my opponent doesn't take like a KO this upcoming turn, we're gonna be in a pretty good spot. And I'm hoping they won't. They need a... I guess I should do this. I want to Ultra Ball away any of these? Probably not. Now, Fusion Strike system. I do have to be careful with my switching cards. Alright, I think this is fine. Let's use you. Let's go Psychic Leap. Take a KO. Do I want to shuffle to save the energies potentially? Nah. There's merit to it. There's actually merit to that. You know what? I am going to shuffle. Alright. So I have the Alessa Sparkle as well in hand, and the Escape Rope. Echoing Horn sucks that there's no Urshifu or Galarian Moltres in the discard pile yet. That could be a game-winning card potentially. I still have Catchers, I still have Boss. Okay, they just get the Inteleon. So they're playing 2, because the other one was at the bottom of the deck for sure. Alright, so they don't have energies in the discard pile, so pulling off the Moltres here I feel like has to be really, really difficult. Like, really difficult. Right? Like, how do you pull off a Moltres from this spot? I'm glad I didn't discard the Alessa Sparkle last turn. Right. The Avery, even better, right? As to me discarding the... I mean, me sending the Mew back. That means I only have to discard one Genesect rather than Genesect and this Mew. So yeah, based on that Avery, I feel like we should be safe this turn, at least. No guarantees, but we should be safe. Sonia. Alright. With 90 damage, not super impactful. Scuba Med, okay. So they're really preparing for the Moltres. We don't know what they have in their hand, but the big thing that they're missing is definitely energies, I would say. Alright. So what's my plan here? Don't want to play the Echoing Horn. I also kind of want to keep it. I don't have a great hand. Right, I think I'm gonna have to Cape Rope first. Because I'd rather knock out anything other than the Hoopa. Okay. Okay, I do have to be careful. Alright, I think I have to give up the Echoing Horn and the Chromatic. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. And then we'll grab the MEW VMAX. Yeah, I have to. If I could Psychic Leap the base MEW, that would be fantastic. Like Psychic Leap KO. That seems like a stretch though. Oh well. Alright. Awkward-ish draws, awkward-ish hands. Alright, let's Rose Tower for 2. There's the other MEW. That's the one we want to be attaching as our backup. Okay, and we have the potential for that now. Off the Training Court. With no energies in my opponent's discard pile, I feel like I could play the Training Court. Because it helps me, right? I do need the backup MEW. I really do need the backup MEW. And I also feel like attaching to this and playing towards a Psychic Leap play could be good. Well, no, if this MEW VMAX goes down, yeah, no, never mind. I need the healthiest Pokemon I can get. Ugh, weird. It depends on if my opponent can knock out my MEW, I guess. That's what it depends on. So we'll just Techno Blasts and hope. If my opponent knocks out the MEW VMAX, then they need back-to-back MEW VMAX KOs. If they can afford to do that, then that's really good. If not, then we're in a good spot. I mean, we win, obviously. So there's Scoop Up Net. So my opponent needs a bunch of energies and a switching card and a Moltres. Alright, they have another Scoop Up Net. They have the Quick Ball, so they have a lot of energies in their hand. There's a Moltres, and then can they do it all over again next turn? I will need to... Ooh, actually, if they have Boss... Ooh, if they have Boss, they win with MEW. Uh-oh. I probably should have attached to this MEW. Yeah, if they have Boss, they have Knockout with Hoopa. Well, they also already have the Clara. Do they have another switching card though? That's the question. Do they play a fourth Scoop Up Net? Yeah, I have to, right? I don't have any other choice. Do they play the fourth Scoop Up Net? That's the question. Okay, no MEW VMAX for Pablo. There's a MEW VMAX. And I think that's gonna be it, right? We know they have the Clara. Do they have the... and they have the Stadium thanks to me. So do they have the last scoop of nets? It comes down to that. So maybe killing the Gossifleur was a mistake. Maybe I should have just continued to target down the Sobbles. I really thought with the Gossifleur down and the fact that they didn't have a lot of energies in the discard pile, they weren't going to be able to pull this off. There's the grass, and they do have the 4th scoop of net. Okay, GG. Close, right? Close. Not sure what I could have done differently there. Perhaps I didn't stick to the MEW V play enough. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I feel like I might have done something wrong there. Maybe I should have saved the Marnie for when I went down to this situation, right? Maybe that's when I should have saved the Marnie for. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Very long MEW VMAX video. The coin flips, as you can see, they do add a little bit of variance, but they can be very useful. As you can also get rid of the Pokemon catchers from your hand, whereas you can't do that with boss, right? So there's definitely merit to them, and there's no surprise that Andrew did so well. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.